When you fire with the Noble Launcher, you can get double hits? Pretty cool. So how does that work, and is that the best you can do? Can you even get triple hits with a single shot? Oh yes, you can. So hello guys, and welcome to another one of my Fortnite videos, and welcome to a bit of a journey of discovery into the perks of my brightcore power level 130 perfect perked Noble Launcher. This has been a few days in the making, where I have been fooling around with a lot of different perk combinations, trying to find out what really works out for me and what my suggestion for the ideal perk for the Noble Launcher is. This obviously depends on your playstyle, your heroes, what you have to work with, but I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on it and the why, of course, in this video. So main thing, of course, is the Noble Launcher, crazy penetrating explosive weapon. That is my favorite explosive weapon in the entire game, with very interesting also hitbox for the projectile that you're going to be seeing a few times throughout this video, where it sometimes jumps a few opponents and sometimes it really hits things that are way away. Here we have a double hit on a husk, and as I go through the Noble Launcher, keep in mind that all the tiny creep insta die. Everything that I hit that is small, it dies immediately. The only way I can get single and double hits with the Noble Launcher is if I'm up against blasters, huskies and smashers, which is why my focus in this video has been showcasing those types of opponents, because the others just really die. I've been fooling around with the Noble Launcher, also taking a lower power level tune into a higher level mission, and what I found out was that the impact on the Noble Launcher is more or less a chance for you to actually do this stunt and staggering. Some talk about an impact health bar of opponents that you need to scratch away with your weapon before you can stagger them. It does not in any way affect how far back you can push things with the Noble Launcher, but you're going to be seeing a few examples of that here in the video. Playing against, here you saw a smasher with these perks here, going crit damage, and damage to afflicted targets, like a pretty basic high area damage chance setup, and it can take out anything. I mean, power level 130 Noble Launcher, power level 124 player, there is nothing I can't take out with this. But if we go through these different perks, just so you can see what the options are, we have some reload speed, we have some fire rate, we have some impact, crit chance, crit damage, all very interesting things. But we do have two different places where we actually have impact that we can select from. And the first thing that I'm doing here is that I'm spending some reperk, changing my one critical rating into an impact, so that we go from 9,000 to 14, almost 15,000 impact when we hit with it. And I'm gonna go from the crit rating up to direct damage. So we now have 60% higher impact when we hit with this. And based on the theories I have read about the Noble Launcher, the concept is that when you stagger, when you knock back an opponent, you push the opponent backwards faster than the ray of the projectile, allowing you to hit it multiple times. So going here with a single staggering additional impact option, playing around with that, for me I didn't really feel any difference. Small things died, big things got staggered. There was nothing I could put a finger on really. I was able to get a double hit when I had my Noble Launcher without any additional impact on it. It happened just about as often as it does now. I stagger blasters with the first shot, and I generally take them out with two shots. So for me, not much of a difference. As you can see here, again, a double damage on the blaster. Look at the hitbox. They're actually hitting the small things on top of the small hillside. Pretty cool stuff. Up against blasters, smashers and husk, like I said, those were the ones where I can really showcase these additional damage hits. And here you can see me tanking, so to say, a smasher with the Noble Launcher. And this is just to give you guys an idea about the amounts of shots it takes for me to take out a power level 100 elemental smasher, and how many shots it takes before I actually take it out and before I knock it backwards. Here we see a husk. And what I wanted to show here was just that it gets staggered on the first shot, it gets knocked back, but the knockback range is not any longer than when I just had no additional impact on it. I'm changing now my weapon once again to have two additional impact rolls on it. So we have 120% additional impact, almost 20,500 impact on the Nova Launcher. And what this should mean in theory is that there is a higher chance for us to stagger things, or it takes fewer shots before it happens. But like you saw before, for me when I'm playing in Twine Peaks power level 100 with my main hero, it happens almost every single time. So I didn't really feel any difference when I was playing with my main account with my main weapon in my main area, because I appear to be somewhat capped in terms of what I can do with this weapon even without having the perks up. That is my experience of it. When I played with my other accounts, tried to give them this weapon, it made a difference. But if you are playing in a mission that matches with your power level, with a weapon that matches with your power level, I don't think it's gonna have that much of a difference if you get this additional impact. At least it hasn't done that for me. Of course, the new crazy Riot Husks, the Riot Huskies, are husks that you can take out with the Nova Launcher as well. You can shoot directly through their shield, making it a really cool weapon. And once again, taking out the Fire Element Smasher, just to give you guys an idea about the amount of times you need to hit it to stagger it. My only recorded triple damage in almost 2 days of non-stop gaming, fooling around with the Nova Launcher, was when I had the 2 impacts on it. I think it is more based on luck than anything else, because I tried playing loads of games, recording so much gameplay, but this was the only time I managed to get a triple damage from my Nova Launcher with a Smasher up close. So yeah, it can happen, but it is a very rare thing, even if you are close to capped on pretty much everything in the game. So anyway, that was a little bit about my perk testing of the weapon, how I nudged things around here at the end, trying to get these additional attack options. And for me, being capped, playing with a capped weapon, not much of a difference really. But I do like having the option of really staggering something more, because I play a lot of group missions. I play I try to challenge myself out, play where there is just a little bit of challenge. So what I decided to do was to keep the 1 impact roll on the weapon, so that I can play against something that is tougher than what I casually play in, and still have a chance to stagger and stun things. But then I wanted to actually go in and have a faster reload, because we have 3.4 seconds. This is not the charge up time. This is actually the time from you fire till you can start firing it up again. And that was really something I realized while facing these smashers. I would like to be able to fire faster, even just uncharged projectiles. So these here are my perfect perks for the Nova Launcher. While we're on the subject of the Nova Launcher, there are loads of things worth considering. For instance, the energized support squad bonus from the Reclaimer. This here is my main dude, but as you can see here, I'm getting 20% additional energy damage, and the Nova Launcher is the fixed energy damage weapon. And of course, besides the Shamrock Reclaimer, we have the OG Reclaimer, and you can see that the Bear Stare ability also deals energy damage. I'm gonna go through a few things. Now, I recently got the Fragment Flurry Jest, and what I want to show you guys here is just how this energy damage boosts increase as you evolve her from 10 to 15% and from 15 to 20. What this means is also that there is no bonus in terms of the support bonus after 20%, but you do get the additional bonuses for leveling up and evolving your character if you can, but you're actually capped on the support squad bonus of 20% pretty early with the Reclaimer class. Now, the Reclaimer class often combats Shuriken Master Sarah for the support bonus, because it gives you a boost of 20% damage to all abilities but nothing to weapons. And if we look a little into popular abilities, you can see energy damage from the Seismic Impact, so both would boost up here, both the Reclaimer and the Shuriken Master. Base Cannon also deal base energy damage. Feel the base, we're talking energy damage. As you can see throughout this list here, a lot of the really popular things, lefty and rightly, when you get higher up, deals energy damage. So a lot of things in the end game deal energy damage anyway, which means that for many players, even the grenade field, energy damage. And speaking of grenade field, Shockwave deals energy damage. Yeah, kind of cool, right? I mean, and Going Commando doesn't, so that's a boo-hoo. But besides that, fun fact that I only realized today is that a normal frag grenade actually deal energy damage. I actually didn't know that, so that was one thing I learned while making this video as well. A frag grenade deals energy damage, so pretty cool stuff. All of these abilities, keep it in mind if you're deciding on whether you should select the Shuriken Master or a reclaimer, and especially if you're playing a ninja, because ninjas are look at this stuff here, damage every second. Yeah, all right, that's bad. Throwing stars, yeah, we're talking edged weapon damage. Okay, so not that cool. Really, like everything related to ninjas is non-energy damage. So if you want to be maining a ninja, consider using Shuriken Master for your support, because all of their abilities are non-energy abilities, so they're really going to be taking a dive in terms of power if you put in a reclaimer there. If we look at the constructors, the kinetic overload is an energy damage. The electrified floors does not say anything about it, but the plasma pulse deals plasma and energy damage. The kinetic overload does that as well. So they're like a bit more of a breed. The Bull Rush deals blunt physical damage unless you have some crazy thing for it. So that is pretty much like what I can say about the abilities. Another important thing is, of course, if you have a Demolitionist, you have the option to get these really cool options with reload speed that is decreased, which is the time between your fire and your charge. And of course, you have the option to really get a huge decrease on the charge cost of your Noble Launcher fire rate, so that you can fire more times before the weapon actually breaks. So guys, that was pretty much what I had to say about the Noble Launcher, my perks, and a few tips and tricks about what you may want to consider. Last thing here is that you can find it in the Cyber set, but it isn't added as a crystal weapon at this time. For now guys, and as always, thank you very much for watching.